Good morning, everybody. My name is Rich Kaliba. I'm one of the SQL experts on staff today, over 15 years of experience. And the topic I'm going to discuss is the SQL audit. We get calls every now and then about it, but I'm not sure enough people know that it's even out there. So it's a hidden gem. The host auditing module lets you keep track of viewpoint requests that are run on your system. Once the auditing module is installed and enabled, it will record information about each SQL view, script, or SQL command that accesses records in your database. By keeping track of each request, we can find out things like who is using viewpoint the most or least, which are the peak times or when are the peak times of usage, how much impact viewpoint use is having on your system, and most importantly, what data modification requests were done, and those would include the update, delete, and insert commands. In short, the auditing function gives you a way to monitor your investment in SQL. There are inquiries and reports to help you get the most out of your SQL by showing you where it's being used and how it affects your system resources. Using the query auditor's inquiry and analysis tools, you can effectively manage your query environment. And even though the audit module contains several inquiries and reports that are predefined, you may want to create your own views and reports and present audit data exactly as you need it or export it. Next slide, please. This next slide shows the auditing application, which is part of the Viewpoint Administrator. Viewpoint Administrator is installed with your Viewpoint application, and you can see one of the options within the host auditing or within the administrator is the host auditing function. Clicking on this button reveals several functional items that you use. So how does the audit processing work? There are three phases to the audit process: collection, distribution, and analysis. Data collection. All audit information is sent to the OS 400 journal and collected in a receiver. Once auditing is enabled, information is collected about these requests, and each time a SQL data access command like display, execute, report, or insert are used, the job history is saved. The switch that controls the auditing process is kept in each user's default data area. And that first option you see, set audit defaults, lets you review and change the settings for each user. So you pretty much just flip a bit to turn this on by user, and you don't have to audit all the users as you're collecting data. So we have data collection. Data distribution is next. You must periodically run the analyze audit data command to recover the information in the journal receiver and distribute it to the files in the audit database. The manage audit data option you see at the bottom there runs a command that allows you to select whether to add or remove data from the audit database. So you might want to just keep 6 months worth and then get rid of everything older than that. Up to you. The command should be run regularly, perhaps daily, and it can be scheduled through an automatic job scheduling system. So the last audit option here, manage audit data, is to collect the information. Finally, third phase is data analysis, and we give you a couple predefined options. Once information has been distributed to the audit database, the inquiry and reporting programs can be run, and several levels of summary detail are available. Complete detail information can also be acquired for every query that's being audited, and the auditing reports and inquiries are described in the following examples. So next slide, please. So not only do you have predefined options, here's where we're displaying audit data, and the type of audit data that can be reviewed is shown. In this case, the user button is selected, but you can also check by object and job name. These panels illustrate drill down functionality from a user profile to the objects that were run to a command usage summary. So the auditing system collects these details for each request. start and end time by timestamp for the function is collected. Total CPU time required is collected. The number of I/O operations performed, the user profile, job and job number, the SQL statement view and report name used. So it's important to track back to what objects are being used, and the SQL commands run by the request. So did someone display this? Did someone execute? Did someone report it? And this execution information is retrieved from the job before and after the request executes. So next slide, please. So those are the predefined inquiries, and we also install several views in the SQL library. Here now we're looking at a slide with images from SQL Viewpoint and and we're looking at the SQL library for objects that begin with AUD. You can see a list of the views that are available, and these views are similar to the previous consolidated informations or canned reports you saw, except now you could take the view results and export them to Excel or PDF. You can create your own views over the audit data report. There are some prompted views that let you pick various ranges, and certainly you can modify and export the information as required. Next slide, please. So in summary, it's easy to use and it's controlled by user. It's already installed on your system. You don't need another license for auditing. The functions are there, the programs are there, and the access is there. Easy to create output of audit data for annual reports. You can quickly see summarized activity to review what's happening and review product usage. And it's all presented to you in a nice graphical interface, or everything that you see in Viewpoint is also available in green screen. So if you're still comfortable at a command line and running commands or taking menu options to review data, you certainly can access the information in that mode. Next slide, please. So there's more detail about the Viewpoint audit function in the Viewpoint 11 admin guide. I've highlighted the chapter called Host Auditing that begins on page 39.